Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Seaboard Networks.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, your host, here with my co-host and co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We are in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios, and we're so glad you're here as we continue on our journey through Alaska, the last frontier. And, I'll have to say this. A lot can happen in Alaska when a plan goes wrong, even when a plan goes right. And what started as a straightforward journey toward one of America's most remote national parks for us quickly turned into something else entirely. A few missed opportunities, unexpected turns, and a few surprises along the way reminded us of something every traveler eventually learns. The road doesn't always care where you intended to go. Sometimes that's exactly what makes the story worth telling. And what? It's very dramatic, I know.
It is very dramatic.
It sounds like we're setting up for an epic adventure, which really it was. This is a part of the journey where we had some missed opportunities that are kind of, that came up that we're going to talk about. And some of it was on us, and some of it was just bad luck and bad timing. But it led to a very unexpected adventure and something else that we came across entirely in a part of Alaska that very few people get to see, but I think it's the part that most people dream about.
Yes.
And we actually encountered it, and we have some thoughts on it. So, if you've continued on with us on our journey through Alaska, we've been through Anchorage and had a really great time in that city, kind of in the surrounding areas, and Portage, Portage Glacier and Portage Valley, and that kind of area. Then we made our way down to Seward and Kenai Fjords National Park and had an incredible time down there. And, looking back on it, I was thinking about when we were talking about Kenai Fjords. And if you go and listen to that episode, if you listen to our episodes in order, it's episode 165. It's a little bit fast paced because I felt like that was the part of the journey that was kind of fast paced for us. This part of the journey is where we intentionally slowed everything down.
Right. And
really we pulled the reins back a little bit, like, hey, we're kind of hurrying through a lot of stuff, almost like we were checking off boxes. And for travelers that have done it for a while, that's one of the first lessons you find out, like, okay, hold on, stop trying to just check off boxes, be present as much as you can. But even for seasoned travelers like us, we still had to remind ourselves, like, we need to slow down a little bit and really just enjoy being here.
Right. We had intentionally booked several excursions those first few days, so we knew those were going to be a little bit back-to-back activities. And then this was when we decided we are not necessarily going to make firm plans. We're going to kind of have an idea and see what happens.
Right.
And in true Unskilled fashion, our idea shifted, and then we had to pivot on site again. So we ended up not even sticking to what our idea was. However, I think this was probably the most memorable day of our entire trip.
Yeah, I second that with you because we're right above Seward. We're at a place called
Cooper Landing.
Cooper Landing. And we're at a very nice wilderness lodge, and we decided, okay, we're going to head back up north on the Seward Highway. We're going to pass back through Anchorage and start on a totally different part of Alaska. Our original plan was we're going to go as far east as we can and hit all these little towns and just see what like little town Alaska looks like. But then we were like, you know what? Let's go see this national park they have over here. One that we didn't even really talk about until we kind of got to Alaska, or if not the days before leading up to Alaska.
Yeah, I did not know that Alaska had so many national parks. And I think 2 days before we were leaving, when we were sort of deciding, you know, after we did these excursions, where are we going to head next? And that's when we realized, oh, towards the east is the largest national park in all of the United States.
Yeah.
Wrangell-St. Elias. So you have this, I don't want to say quest, but this quest is a good word, to see as many national parks as possible.
Absolutely.
And my quest is to see all of the states. So we're kind of helping each other check these boxes off. And it's like, okay, well, let's go check out another national park. We knew it was going to be a drive. We intended to spend most of the day in the car. That's exactly what we did.
Yeah. And we, you know, I think you drove for a good portion of it. And if anyone follows the show, Amy drives. Like it is literally the last day on earth for all of us. Stop. She does. I mean, she was mowing down people. I think you stopped for moose. I think we stopped a couple of times for moose that we saw.
We did.
But old people, young people, it didn't matter. School zones.
Stop.
No. Just kidding. But yeah, our destination became Wrangell-St. Elias. And we knew we weren't going to have a whole lot of time, but it's lucky for us because, like you said, this national park is enormous. It's more than 13 million acres. To put that in perspective, places like Bryce Canyon that we've talked about that we're close to is a little over, I think, 200,000 acres. So Wrangell-St. Elias, 13 million acres. It's bigger than Yellowstone, Yosemite, and the Grand Canyon National Parks combined. That's how big this park is, right? It was created in 1980 by President Carter as part of the Alaska National Interest Lands Conservation Act. Basically taking all of these places and saying, look, hands off, no more logging, no more mining, no more any of that stuff. But the crazy thing about it is one you alluded to that most Americans have never even heard of it.
Yeah. In
fact, before we started getting our Alaska trip together, I'd never heard of it. I was like, what is this
We were
park?
like, because you have the water bottle with all the different national parks on it. We're like, is this even on the water bottle? And it was. We've just overlooked it. But we were kind of like, this is made up, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, we felt like we had to go. Even though we knew it was a bit out of our way, we had to go.
Yeah.
What we were not prepared for is the magnitude of this park and the fact that if you want to actually do anything besides see the visitor center, that's a whole day in itself.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that if anyone's planning to go to this park, you need to know that. This is not a park you can do in one day.
Which is crazy because there are so few roads that go in and out of this park.
Yes.
A lot of the park is either unpaved roads or you have to book a bush plane or helicopters or something else or navigate the rivers or something like that because there's not, by design, there's not a whole lot of roads that really can circumvent the geography there, which is kind of crazy. But as we headed north from Kenai Peninsula, we started noticing the change in scenery. Like you get above Anchorage and the cities and it's a cityscape and you're having fun. We stopped, I think, in Palmer and filled up with gas and we could notice the air changing, like it was getting colder. We're still avoiding weather, which was crazy.
Yeah.
Like as soon as we left Seward, like it was snowing and all that stuff down there. But it was sunshine all the way up through the mountains as we followed the river along these little towns outside of Anchorage and everything. But it was just these long stretches between services and long stretches between anything more than observation pullouts.
Which there were so many. I mean, this road, I think it's Highway 1, but they call it Glen Highway. Yeah. It is one of the most scenic highways too that we've ever been on. Everybody talks about the Seward Highway being the most scenic, but this one in itself, we stopped multiple times to get out and take pictures. There's a glacier that you can see from the highway and they have its own observation stop there. But so many places that we just pulled over on the side of the road to take pictures. It was just gorgeous.
And that's the Matanuska. So the road follows the Matanuska River. And along the way is the Matanuska Glacier, which you can see from the highway. And if you want a more I think a pop moment or a pop culture moment here, this is, if you've ever been on TikTok or Instagram, you've seen once a year, they have the Glacier View car launch. And this is where they launch cars off the side of these hills. And it's like
literally off the side of the highway.
It's like a crash test dummy parade. It's a fair. It's a festival. And in fact, whenever we visited, it was only a couple of weeks away.
Right.
Like coming up to it. And I wish we could have gotten to stick around and see it because it looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
And there are so many questions involving that I hope next year
that
we get to go and talk to the organizers, because it is literally out in the middle of nowhere, but the backdrop is this incredible glacier.
Yeah.
That's just sitting out there. And I wonder, through all the millennia that this glacier has been sitting here, is it sitting there wondering, going, what are the monkeys doing? Why are they launching?
Why are they throwing cars?
These
at me?
things off? It's just what are they doing? But it seems like so much fun. Eventually, once you go down Highway 1, Glen Highway, you mentioned how gorgeous it is.
Yeah.
By this time, I'm already thinking, and this may ruffle some feathers, but what's the big deal with Seward Highway? I saw it and I'm like, oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. And then we get to Glen Highway and I'm like, oh,
this is beautiful too.
This, I think, trumps that.
In fact, the lady at the lodge where we were staying the night before told us she preferred this drive over the Seward Highway drive. Yeah. And we were like, oh, really? Okay, because I've never heard of this one before. Yeah. And I have to say, I do think it rivals the Seward. Seward's, the first part coming out of Anchorage, that part is gorgeous. But I feel like after that section, it's fine. This one, the change in scenery, though, because you are going up into the mountains, it was just, I think it gave a lot more diversity in the scenery. And there were more, like as we said, you could see a glacier straight from the highway, and you don't see that on the Seward Highway. So it's a different drive. It's a different scenery, but I do think it rivals it.
I think you're being very politically correct. I think this is just so much better than the Seward Highway.
Well, I think there's a different highway that's even better.
And we'll get to that. Right. Are we leaving you in vague wonder? Are you ready for the rest of the show where we tell you what this is? I think you are. I think so many people are. We end up at the visitor center at Wrangell-St. Elias, and that was only the beginning because we're about to make a huge mistake, which will lead to an even bigger, I think, revelation. Keep it right here. Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
Check us out online, unscaledtravelshow.com. All of our past episodes and interviews. Episodes like this are kind of in a series. We started, if you want to go back and listen to the beginning of Alaska, it's episode 164, all the way through to wherever we decide to end all this. So, we're talking about our trip to Wrangell-St. Elias National Park, one of the biggest parks in the United States, over 13 million acres, if not the biggest.
It is the biggest. Mm-hmm.
There you go. Not one of, the biggest one. So, like Yellowstone and Zion, there are very few roads leading in and out. We mentioned that. But most visitors that talk about Wrangell-St. Elias, they know two names, McCarthy and Kennecott. Mm. McCarthy is a town and a road we're about to talk about. Kennecott, at one point, was one of the richest copper mines on Earth.
Oh, wow.
Not just the United States, on Earth. They pulled so much copper out of those mountains and mines. I mean, I don't know the exact figure, but it was a lot. Today, it's a remarkably preserved kind of ghost town sitting on the edge of wilderness that so many people that visit the area visit these mines in this little former city. And I hear it's beautiful. We set out to go see the Kennecott mines and we didn't quite make it, but it doesn't mean we didn't have the adventure of a lifetime.
Yeah. So I think the thing people need to know about this national park is you go to the visitor center, which actually is not even in the park. It is outside of the park in an area called Cooper, I think.
Copper Center?
Copper Center.
There you go.
Yes. And so that's the visitor center. There are some hikes and trails around there, but you're not even technically in the park at this point. So you and I go to the visitor center because you have to get your pin and we have to get our sticker, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we grab a map because we're like, well, we do want to go into the park. And we see they mainly have two scenic drives. One's the northern part and one's the southern. And the southern one is called McCarthy Drive, and at the end of it, we see on the little brochure is Kennecott, and I was like, "Oh, you love your history and ghost towns, so let's do it."
Sure.
I saw that it said it's a 60-mile drive. What I didn't realize was that was only after you get to a certain point, then it's 60 miles of unpaved road.
Yeah.
Just to get to McCarthy, where then you have to walk to McCarthy. So all this to say, we did not realize how long of a drive we had from the visitor center down to McCarthy.
And getting there a little later in the day, because we were making that drive from Kenai, we didn't realize how much time it was going to take. And that was just poor planning and foresight on our part. And it's a little bit of a drive from the visitor center in Copper Center to a little little community called Chitna.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's something like that, where the paved roads basically end. And up until this point, it's a mix of private and public lands. So they call it a nature preserve and national park because there are still private homes out there. There's a couple of businesses, small towns, up until this part where you basically, there's big warning signs out there saying, if you don't have basically a reliable off-road vehicle, do not take this road. The roads are closed in winter.
Yeah.
Services are few and far between.
It was a little concerning. We were like, should we, there's no services after that part, I think. It was like, should we even make this drive? But we had come this far.
And basically, if you've been around Amy, she's like, she makes it sound like she had hemmed and hawed about it, but she didn't. She was like, I'm the one that was hemming and hawing, and like, I don't know if we should do this. And you're like, if you don't do this, I don't know. You said something.
I really thought you would enjoy getting to Kennecott. That was all I could think about was we've made this drive. I want to get you there. I think you'll really enjoy it. And my error was not understanding what we were getting ourselves into.
So, to not beat around it too much. I mean, McCarthy Road is 60 miles of unpaved road, full of potholes, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful drive. All these like little natural lakes that are out there set against the backdrop of gorgeous mountains. And if you have time to do it, it's wonderful. Take your time, go do it. We were in a rental car. And I was like, we got the insurance. We're going to beat this car to all get out. So we were just flying down this road. And by the way, if you're the rental car company listening to this, I actually did do this. But we were flying down, hitting every pothole that we could find. And eventually you come to just one of the most gorgeous bridges that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's a 1-lane bridge. And it's called Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
The Tuscaloosa Bridge. And it's about 130 plus feet in the air, like above the river that's underneath. And it's about 200 and something feet long. And it is the place that if you are an Instagrammer or if you love just taking gorgeous photos, you're going to spend about 15 minutes here. As long as you're not backing up traffic, which, I mean, it's only you out there, but like, you're going to take all kinds of pictures like we did. We did coming and going because it's just one of the most gorgeous,
it was beautiful
picture spots that you'll ever find. And then, you kind of fast forward and you go through all of that and you get to the end of the actual road where the namesake McCarthy Bridge is, but the McCarthy Bridge is a walking bridge.
It's a footbridge.
It's a footbridge. It's not there for vehicles. There's a parking lot that I think in summertime, like in deep summertime, there are like services out there. Like I think people can do excursions and things. Yeah. It looks like it was kind of built up for that, but otherwise it's just you.
Yeah.
And we didn't know walking across the footbridge about a half a mile in, that it was another I don't know,
5 miles.
5 miles one-way hiking trip to Kennecott.
Yeah.
You should know, no, saying all that, you should know that there are shuttle services. There are shuttle services where I think the shuttle for round trip is just a couple of bucks. They pick you up from different spots from the little town of McCarthy, which I think is home to like 20 people.
Yeah. The website says they have 30 occupants that live there full time.
So they have a handful of people that live there full time, and you can catch a shuttle service. We had just missed the last shuttle of the day by maybe 30 minutes. And it was so late in the day at that point, I was like, there's no way we're going to be able to hike
5 miles there,
10 miles round trip,
right,
and have enough time to get back. We had already booked a hotel for the evening in Delta Junction, which was already a 4-hour drive away. So like we came to it was a very real realization. Like we stood there and we were like, we're not getting to Kennecott.
I felt so bad that I had talked you into making the drive, because all you wanted to do was go to the visitor center. I was the one that said, let's go to Kennecott. Let's make this long drive, which ended up being about 2.5 hours from the visitor center to that parking lot. And we walk across the footbridge, and here we are, not able to get to the mining town I wanted you to see. I felt so bad. I offered that we would sleep in the car and go take the first shuttle over in the morning. And you were not down for that, I would say.
Well, we weren't prepared for it. We didn't have anything to eat. We didn't prepare, we didn't have any food with us. Beyond just like a couple of bags of I think some mixed nuts and things like that. Yeah. We didn't really even have that much water or anything. So all of this for season planners like us or season travelers like us, it was kind of just a hodgepodge of missteps on our part, because we very much underestimated our time and how much time it would take to get back and just everything else. We weren't prepared. So, and that's what happens. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Yeah. And so, we took some more pictures. We vowed that next time it's going to be different, and it will. But we had to hit the road and head up to Delta Junction via the Richardson Highway. The Richardson Highway, which led to, this is what we're saying is one of our favorite times in here, because at this time of the year, it is the midnight sun. So the sun isn't setting until almost midnight, only for a couple hours at this point. But we got to see wild Alaska on this drive up there.
Yeah. We knew we needed to take this highway. And so it's getting late in the day. By the time we left Wrangell-St. Elias, it's a little after 6 o'clock in the evening. So we already know we're not even getting to our hotel at minimum 10 o'clock. And even that was ambitious, because I think we were even farther away than we thought we were. And then we stopped because we saw this beautiful waterfall on the side of the road as soon as we came out of the McCarthy Drive. It's a tiny little state park, Liberty Falls State Park, with this lovely little waterfall. And then you also saw a bald eagle on the side of the road. So we stopped to take some pictures of that. And then we get on the highway. And so we're driving. It's getting late. And I, with my complete heart, can say the Richardson Highway, I think, is the most scenic highway in Alaska that we drove. It was beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it's better than Seward?
I do. I really do. They're kind of comparable in places, but I think overall this one was way more scenic. Yeah. We drove by so many lakes and ponds that were still frozen. There were mountains everywhere. But then this is where we really saw wildlife. It was starting to get darker. The sun is beginning its descent. And we're driving, and there are moose. I feel like there were moose everywhere. And then all of a sudden, you were doing something, and something pops out into the road in front of us. and I'm driving and I slammed on the brakes and you looked up and you're like, what's going on? And there was a caribou in the middle of the highway in front of us.
Reindeer.
A reindeer.
They're magical. They're reindeer when they're magical.
But this was the first one we saw, and it did feel magical to see it.
That was Amy's way of saying she almost hit a reindeer. But we did. We came across moose and Dall sheep. There was like a herd of Dall sheep that were actually, they weren't in the mountains. They were just walking along the side of the road.
Right.
And it was crazy because there's no one else around. And it's like midnight at one point and the sun is still up. We're delirious from lack of sleep and we're seeing all these animals and we're just like, this is probably one of the most magical times I've ever had on any of my trips anywhere.
It's exactly what I thought Alaska would be like.
That is, and I dream about it almost every night now. Keep it right here. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-reindeer, Amy.
Hello.
We're in Sin City, Las Vegas, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. Thank you so much to our friends and sponsors at Diamondback Land Surveying. Check them out. I mean, they're one of the best land surveying companies in the United States. That's not me just being chippy with it. That's me. They're awarded that all the time. One of the very best. So they're so great, and they are travelers too, which makes it even better. So we had just left Wrangell-St. Elias, made an all-night trip on the Richardson Highway, which was just amazing. I mean, when you factor in like the midnight sun stuff, which it says, I mean, it was crazy. At one point when the Dall sheep, whenever we stopped and there was this herd of Dall sheep, the clock said like 12:30 at night. But the sky said maybe 5 o'clock in the evening. Yeah. And it was only the sun was only being blocked a little bit by the mountains.
Yeah. It was, I guess the sun had set at that point, but there was still so much ambient light. It was like dusk. So we could still see very clearly. We had our headlights on, but I don't even think we needed them.
Yeah.
So, but driving that road, I mean, I think we were the only people for most of it. I think we passed maybe two other cars. And then at one point there was a small little town, a couple of cars in that area. But for the most part, we were on this highway alone at night. And this is where we really encountered wildlife up close. And it was incredible. I don't have another word for it. It's like seeing these wildlife right there, things that we never thought we would see with our own eyes. It was so memorable.
Yeah. We eventually made our way to Delta Junction, to the Alaska Frontier Inn. I wish I could give some sort of review about the Alaska Frontier Inn, except we came in, we threw our our luggage on the ground, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, but it was still daylight outside. And we crashed out.
Yeah.
Like it had been an incredibly long day because we got up super early to leave the Kenai Peninsula at the same time. But thank you so much to our friends at the Alaska Frontier.
I will say, of all the places we stayed, that one had the nicest bathroom.
Okay. There you go. Round of applause for the Alaska Frontier. So if you're out that way, give them a call. Say Jeremy and Amy said you got a nice bathroom. So we decided the next day, you know what? Because we had such a long day yesterday, we are purposely going to take it a little bit slower today. Luckily, we were just a few minutes drive from Delta Junction to a place called North Pole.
North Pole,
Alaska.
It sounds magical.
Because it is. It is. Sort of. In that, you know, since our plans had already kind of unraveled, we decided, you know what, let's go celebrate Christmas in May, basically.
June. Yeah, in May.
And, North Pole, years ago, this little town decided to change their name to North Pole, and I think about 3 months out of the year, it is probably one of the most magical places on earth, right?
Right.
A lot of kids have started sending their letters like to Santa to North Pole. And if there's kids listening right now, yes, Santa is real. Yes, this is one of his temporary homes because he's at the actual North Pole, and this is like his substation, basically.
Yeah,
you know,
North Pole, Alaska.
And if you don't buy that, then ask your parents, something. Maybe they'll tell you. Anyway, so it's located just outside of Fairbanks, maybe 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Maybe, if even that. And they have a place called the Santa House, and there's like I don't know how tall the Santa statue is. It's like 50 feet tall. Yeah. And he's holding a list of, names and all of that. They have a caribou / reindeer, was it outpost? Little
next door.
Housing thing. And it looks like if you go there for the Christmas season, it's probably all lit up, and the reindeer are out there doing stuff, and they have little food stands and, other kind of stuff. And it looks really cool. And we even stopped into the Santa house.
We did. It was a lovely store. It's a pretty large store.
It's a very large store. Yeah.
All kinds of Christmas decorations and North Pole swag, things to buy, souvenirs. Great store. I will say, for a town called North Pole, I expected to be wowed. I thought I am driving into Christmas. I expected a giant sign saying "Welcome to North Pole." They did have a sign. It was kind of small. We almost passed it. But outside of this town, the store, I don't feel that the town really inhibits the name North Pole. And I just say that because I felt a little bit underwhelmed.
Oh.
And I don't want other people going to North Pole, Alaska in the summertime expecting it to be a Christmas wonderland, and it's not.
I just want to say, Amy's views are her own. They do not do not reflect the actual views of the show. You know what? I have to chalk it up to, we were visiting in May. It was the off season. In fact, we went to Santa's house. He wasn't even there.
No.
He was on vacation.
They told us, he's on vacation this week.
And I was like, what? Tell him we're here. Like, we're here for a reason and a purpose. But they have an area where, like, if you have young kids and it's the right time of year, Santa's there. You can take pictures. You can drop off letters. I mean, you're already in the North Pole. Or you can send Christmas cards to people, which we elected to do. They have two options. They can mail them for you right there, which you can fill it out, buy the postage, mail it right in the store, or you can go to the post office, whatever. But this takes care of it right there. Or they have an option where they will hold it for you till just before the Christmas, and then they'll mail everything out. So you'll get a Christmas card or a postcard from the North Pole right before Christmas. Right. It'll blow your mind, right?
Well, and if you're like us, you probably forgot you did it, and then it's going to show up in the mail.
We mailed it to a couple of friends of ours, and they're like, well, one of them was like, oh, thank you so much for the postcard. It was so nice. The other one was like, why the heck did you send me a postcard from the North Pole? And I was like, number one, never do that again. I'm not going to send you one. You sound pretty ungrateful. It's from the North Pole. Santa was watching. You're going to get cold this year or something.
I don't know. I expected it to feel a lot. I expected there to be more Christmas in the town, and outside of the little area around the Santa Claus house, it was just a regular town. I don't know. I just thought there would be more. You
were very amped up about this going into it, because it was one of the main reasons we added this north leg of the Alaska trip was it's right outside of Fairbanks, which Fairbanks is probably one of the better known Alaskan cities. So it's right outside of there. Do you think it was a little bit of the Paris syndrome?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like, I had built it up in my head. Okay. I thought it was going to be like Christmas Disneyland town. I expected a lot more, especially, for a town to rename themselves North Pole, I had very high expectations.
What did you think? What did you think it was going to be?
I thought there'd be like a little downtown area and it'd all be Christmas themed. I didn't see any of that. There were some businesses in the town that were Christmas themed, and then
I think the Wendy's.
Well, I was about to say there was the
Wendy's
area
had
that had some of the
canes.
street lights were candy cane striped, but outside of that, it wasn't that Christmassy. And again, maybe more in that time of the year. It is. But
I think there was a bar that had
it was
elves.
called like the Elf Tavern or something.
The Elf Tavern.
Something like that.
Or like you could throw an elf or something like that. It was like one of those places.
I don't know. I felt a little disappointed.
You wanted a Hallmark movie.
I did. I thought I was walking into a Hallmark movie, and
See, now I feel like if you're going to go to one of these places, right? And there's cities all over the U.S. that are named year after year some of the best Christmas towns. That's like Leavenworth, Washington, and different places like this that have this big feel to them, or like at least this hype, this name to them. That I feel like if you go outside of that, and then like you have to go during the actual Christmas season to see, does the hype actually pay off, or is it just this?
I don't know. I think if we go back, I do want to go back in the Christmas season to North Pole and see it then. But for me, a town called North Pole, I thought it's Christmas all year long. We're going to walk into Christmas right now. And outside of the store, I didn't really feel it.
Yeah.
So,
well,
sorry.
You can. Right.
Sorry for North Pole, but
this is a ringing endorsement. They just. For 10 minutes, we've just been like, this place. But right next door, there is the caribou, which you can go during the shoulder seasons and go, like the caribou are just walking around. They're behind a fence. So let me make that clear. They're behind a fence. But like other times during the year, it says that there are opportunities to like go feed them.
Right.
They'll take you on tours inside their areas and everything. But like we saw.
Yeah, we were right there on the other side of the fence looking at them. I mean,
so I feel like it's probably like, we just missed out. We were just a little bit early by about a few months to actually maybe get the entire feel of North Pole. In fact, I'll put it out there. If you're a representative of North Pole, Alaska, you want to have us back.
Change my mind, please.
Bring us back. I'll come back in December.
Yeah, I want to see it in December. I want to go and experience Christmas in North Pole, and I want it to blow my mind.
And if it doesn't,
am I difficult? If it doesn't, am I difficult?
If it doesn't, that episode when we talk about it in January is going to be something brutal.
I wonder if I have just too high of expectations.
No, I think I'm along with you. Like if you have this place, now obviously it was just a marketing thing they did because they incorporated it in the 50s?
No, it was like in the 80s.
The town was incorporated in the 50s. They changed it in the 80s to, because they wanted toy companies to relocate there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So that your toys, a toy company would be like made in the North Pole.
Oh, how cute. That's
adorable. They wanted that to happen, and it hasn't really taken off, So they're they got this store, the Santa house, and
that part was great, but outside of that, it was just a town.
If you'd like us to endorse your town, let's get a travel show. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
Still laughing about that. We're in Sin City, Las Vegas, in the Diamondback Lancer Vane Studios. Just absolutely ripping a town in Alaska for not feeling magical. Just kidding. Sort of. I don't know how we segue that. Anyway, on our way to Delta Junction and North Pole and Fairbanks, we happen to see on the map a location for an ice cave. I've never been to an ice cave.
Yeah.
And the trailhead was right off of the Richardson Highway. And if you click on it, like people have all kinds of gorgeous photos, just amazing photos. And the summary and everything says it's not that far of a hike, and you're rewarded with this cave that's wintry all year round.
Yeah.
And so we were like, let's do it. It's just, I think, just like an hour south of Delta Junction.
I don't even think it was quite that far. So, I want to say it was maybe 45 minutes. So we drove to this, and we thought, okay, it says it's a 1 mile walk. It didn't even say a hike, a walk. So there was no sign. We didn't really know where we were going. Thankfully, we had, Google Maps to tell us this is the trailhead. And then we park, and the trail was snowy. I'll just say that. So we decided, okay, well, we can walk in snow. That's not a problem. And another couple pulled up right behind us. So the four of us start walking on this trail. That quickly we realize it's not just a little bit of snow. When you sunk down to your hips into the snow and you couldn't go any further.
Yeah, it was, it followed this river, and it was, I think it's called the Kastner Glacier and Kastner Ice Cave or whatever. And it didn't seem, I don't think it had snowed that long before. I thought the ice and snow would be a little bit harder. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be that deep. But the first time that my leg completely disappeared into the snow and ice, and the snow, it racked me, took my breath away, took my absolute breath away. I was like, yeah, this is probably not happening for us.
Well, and we thought we were prepared. We had snow pants on, we had hiking boots on. I mean, we were decked out in gear. Snow made its way down into our boots, but we were determined we were going to keep doing this. And we tried to go a little bit farther. And then you again were up to your waist in snow. I'm trying to follow in your steps behind you, and I'm sinking down to above my waist. So we made the decision to turn around and try to go across the water on the trail on that side, which very quickly turned into the same situation.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things, like, I think if we would have had snowshoes or even a little bit into the summertime, it would probably be a very easy hike. Mm-hmm. But again, one of these moments we're caught unprepared, and we had to say goodbye to the Kastner Ice Cave without much luck.
Maybe next time,
man. I don't know. I'm still looking for one of my shoes. I think I left it out there. Keep it right here. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. A voice cracked.
It did.
I'm Jeremy Long. I'm going through puberty here next to my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We're in Las Vegas, Nevada, the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios, talking about our time now in the interior of Alaska, seeing a part of the state I think a lot of people don't hit, especially if they do like cruises or things. I mean, you still get a lot of beauty in that. There's nothing wrong with the cruises. Takes you to a lot of fun places, but you miss out on other cities like Fairbanks, like Wrangell-St. Elias, and all the little towns that go through there. Not North Pole, apparently, but some other places. But I think even going to Fairbanks is a fun city to kind of go there. I think it's a lot younger than I thought it would be.
It's a college town.
Which is kind of crazy. I never think about that, like college kids there or whatever. But so it has this like young, youthful energy. It's a very walkable downtown. We parked and walked and ate at a couple of restaurants, had some great stuff going on. You okay over there? But I think to get the best look at one of the best things to do, because they do have a place called like Pioneer Park, that gives you some early history, and they've relocated a lot of early settler homes that otherwise would have just been torn down. They've kind of put them all in one place and given you a little bit of history. We went there. And then there's something famous like the Warren G. Harding presidential like train car.
Yeah.
That when he visited, he was the first U.S. president to visit the area and everything. And then he died. Maybe his wife killed him. That's a story for a different time.
Yeah.
But I think one of the best things to do is the riverboat discovery.
That was fun. So this day we were actually supposed to drive north of Fairbanks to go to the Arctic Circle sign because we wanted the photo of us in front of the Arctic Circle sign.
Yeah.
But given that we had spent so much time on the road already, and that sign is about a 4-hour drive one way from Fairbanks, we pivoted, as we do, and decided we weren't going to spend 8 hours on the road for one photo. We were going to stay in Fairbanks, and we found the riverboat tour. And I think it ended up being one of the better things that we did on the trip.
Yeah, it was super interesting. I had my reservations. Like, you know, we got the tickets but I was kind of like, I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to be very happy about it. Acting like a toddler, basically.
You were very like poo-pooing the idea.
I was all kinds of doing that. But it actually, I actually had so much fun on it. Because number one, it's like an old steamboat, like paddle boat going down the Chena River. And, you know, just the operations of a boat being on kind of like an old timey ship just instantly kind of makes you happy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's like as soon as we pulled away from the platform, I was like, okay, all right, we're on a boat. And anytime I get to sing, I'm on a boat, like that's always a good time, right? But they also have all these demonstrations along. So you're riding and the staff and everyone is telling you interesting things about the area, about the livelihood, about how it's still like wild America. It's the last frontier for a reason, right? But they also have things like a bush pilot demonstration.
Yeah.
Where you pull up alongside, like you think this guy is just out here messing around in his bush plane, you know, one of these ones that land on and off the water or whatever. But like he's talking to the captain.
Yeah.
And like giving, you know, he pulls out and like flies around the plane.
Yeah,
or
it
planes,
was really neat.
the boat.
they had the microphone piped in so that we could hear him actually talking to us, and he takes off and flies past the boat, circled around and landed, and then we got to actually see him take off again because he then needed to go do another demonstration somewhere else. So we got to see it twice, which was really interesting.
And they kind of explain and break down like why so many people out there still have bush planes. Because you notice if you spend any time like in the interiors or even smaller smaller towns in Alaska, a lot of people have planes.
Yes, they
and like
do.
what, you know, normally
there's a lot of small airports.
And like if I'm in Vegas and someone has a plane in their yard, I'm like, okay. Something's either going on or this guy's got some money. But bush planes and pilots and all of that, they play such an important role in everyday life in Alaska still to this day, because there's a lot of little towns and communities out there that don't have road access. And like half the year they're kind of cut off because
of the weather.
Yeah, so they rely on bush planes and these pilots that drop off supplies and all this other stuff. So it's really interesting to hear about, which leads you right into another, what I found the most interesting part was you come along the world famous trail breaker kennels. And if you're of a certain age, you know the name Susan Butcher and her lead dog, Granite. Susan Butcher was the first woman in history to win multiple Iditarod dog races, and she won 4 of them. I mean, unprecedented. Like, but she did meet with the president. Her and her lead dog Granite met with the president. She was awarded medals. She was so famous. She was on the cover of Sports Illustrated and all of this. And unfortunately, a few years ago, Susan passed, but her kennel is still intact thanks to her daughter Tekla. And Tekla and her dogs and their whole team give a demonstration of these dogs just like pulling them around. Like they're doing summer training, you know, when we're there, obviously. Yeah. But like how fast these dogs go and just how hyped they are to do what they do.
It was really neat because we had no idea what we were going to see while on this boat. And this kennel is right there on the river.
Yeah.
So from the boat, we're watching. And again, we can hear her speaking through the speakers on the boat and telling us about the kennel and about the animals and how they train the different puppies to do it was just so cute. And then they give us the demonstration. And then a little bit later, we actually were able to get off the boat and meet with her in person. It was just such a neat experience. But I was so happy to see the puppies because I had been wanting to go to a sled dog kennel so bad, and we finally got to see them.
Yeah. So a short time after that is the Chena Village, which is kind of like a living museum, right? They talk about the first peoples of this area, how they harvested things from the land, lived off the land, and the importance like dogs and sleds and all of these things came to be, and how everything kind of fit together and how it still fits together for a lot of these communities, which allows us an opportunity to kind of get off the boat and meet with these people and see some demonstrations. Like they had a fish demonstration where
it's like a little fishing village area,
exactly, showing how they used early technologies to catch fish and then clean the fish and all of that, and then how they made different things and how they like smoked salmon and all of that with like early tools, and it just really fascinating.
It was neat. And then they also had caribou/reindeer, a herd there on the property, so we got to see them up close this time.
They were kind of sleeping, so they weren't magical. So they were caribou this time.
They were caribou, okay, because they were just like on the ground.
Yeah,
they weren't flying.
One kept looking at me like.
But you did get some great photos.
I think he was tired of me. Like,
right.
I was calling him like I do my cat. Which I think kind of didn't make.
They
him
didn't
happy.
Like that very much. And then they had also at the Living Village, Tekla and team brought some of the dogs over and had more of a up close demonstration with the dogs, how they train them and call them and things. So that was really neat to see.
And and credit to her, they were signing books that I think her mom wrote years ago. And, she was nice enough to sign one to us through the Unskilled Travel Show. So we appreciate Tekla and her team taking a moment for us. But like the riverboat, discovery.
It was good.
I was happy to be wrong.
Right.
At the end of this, I was happy to be wrong.
Well, and then I took you to another place and you're like, what is this? Where are we going? And then I kind of feel like you had the same change of heart about it. We went to, it's locally called Lars, but it's part of the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and it is their large animal research station. And I had read that you could get pretty up close to the animals that they have there, which included caribou, but also bison and muck oxen. Is that how you say it? Muck oxen?
I don't know what you were about to say. What is it?
Muck oxen?
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Musk oxen?
Yeah, the ones that look like goth.
Yeah, they have the weird tusk thingies.
Yeah, I like them, yeah.
But, yeah, so we drove out there. It's kind of a little bit outside, like right on the edge of Fairbanks, and we didn't really know what to expect when we got there, but you park right there at the fence basically, and the animals are right there in front of you, and they do offer tours that you can go in. Unfortunately, we were there a week before the tour started, but there is a trail that goes all the way around the property that you can walk. I want to say they said it's around a 4 or 5 mile walk that you can see all the different corners, because all the different animals have their own kind of pastures. But it was really neat to see these animals up close. I didn't know what to expect, and then we got there, and I was like, oh, this is kind of neat. But if you go when they have the tours, you get to meet with the students that are actually doing the research.
To meet with the students take you in a lot of the pens, so you can. I think there's opportunity to feed them, or they do demonstrations. With these large animals, and at the same time you get to help fund their research by doing these different things. So it is I'm glad we did that too. I'm glad we made time, because it's not a far drive. And if you're just looking from the fence, you're there for a few minutes, so it doesn't take a whole lot off.
Yeah, it was neat though.
Of anything else. But Fairbanks, I didn't have any expectations, but I left feeling like this is one of the better parts of a great trip overall. Like, and this is one of the parts that kind of stands out.
I agree. I thought, going to Fairbanks in the summer there wasn't going to be a whole lot to do, because I'd always heard more Fairbanks is where you go in the winter for the dog sledding and the auroras and all this. So I'm like, there's not much to see in the summer. And I was very happy to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
I would definitely go back to Fairbanks.
And, this would lead us to, if you join us next time, because we are going to lead right into our trip to probably the best known national park in Alaska, and that's Denali. And the adventure we had both getting there and on the wilderness tour in Denali. So, but, Wrangell-St. Elias and the whole trip up there, Richardson Highway, I would put up there one of the most beautiful drives.
It was.
Not only in the country, but maybe in the world.
Yeah.
And we had such a blast. So thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you guys again next time. It's the Unscaled Travel Show.